Chapter 124. This is not a matter of remuneration. Ziyu frowned. Senior sister Liu, the nature of your cultivation is wood, and his is fire. Wood and fire counter each other. Will it even be beneficial for you? In the Yao Moon Palace, cultivators to reach the Golden Core realm would obtain corresponding titles, according to the nature of their cultivation, or inherit the title of a master. They did not need their real names. That's true, however, since his cultivation level is still low, his fire can be turned into light. I need the help of light to be revitalized. Moreover, I see that this young man's essence energy is pure and doesn't contain any impurities. I think this is the most important part of him that also helped Master Ziyu. Liu said seriously, with his help, I hope to come back to life. I want to break through the limit of the Golden Core and successfully form the nascent soul. Only then will I be able to live for another 1,000 years. Senior Master, please lend him to me on account of my numbered days. Ziyu was instinctively unwilling. He just helped me cultivate, and his vital chi is depleted. I'm afraid. It's fine. I have essence replenishing spiritual medicine that can quickly help him recover. Liu was extremely thick-skinned. She had to be shameless, otherwise, she would soon die of old age here in a few years. If she did not risk her life now, when else can she still fight? Ziyu, has not your Dao companion. For the sake of the sect, lend him to Liu. The palace will also give you some remuneration. Talus Master Yao Yu smiled. If she could create another nascent soul, as an outer sect foundation establishment elder, it would be a huge gain to her. Talus Master, you've already spoken. How can I have any objections? However, you still have to get his approval. If he rejects, I hope you won't force him. Ziyu glanced at the crowd. Facing the greedy gazes of many women, she had no choice but to agree, but she still set certain conditions. She was a little speechless. Who would have thought that a Dao companion brought by her disciple would become so popular in the eyes of many Golden Core Daoists? Then it'll take this young man to recuperate. Liu's eyes lit up. She turned around and left in a hurry. When the other Golden Core women saw that Liu had managed to borrow Sanshi successfully, a blue-robed middle-aged man actually spoke up. He said in a gentle and charming voice, Senior Master Ziyu, I hope to interact more with this little brother in the future. His intention was obvious. He also wanted to use Sanshi to cultivate. In fact, most people in the Yao Moon Palace cultivated the Moon Invitation technique that was yin in nature. Only a few people cultivated the Sun Ascension technique that was yang. It was precisely because there were very few people who cultivate yang cultivation techniques, and that the only two of them who cultivated it already had Dao companions of the same level. Naturally, others could not borrow these people anymore, so they had no choice but to target Foundation Establishment disciples or outer sect elders. However, Foundation Establishment cultivators were too weak. It was fine for them to assist in cultivation, but it was basically useless to rely on them for breakthroughs. It was only when Sanshi's sudden appearance broke this preconceived notion that they realized that Foundation Establishment cultivators could actually help Golden Core cultivators break through. He had become a blessing. One had to know that Foundation Establishment cultivators were not as strong as them and were easy to control too. There was no need to worry about any danger in cultivating with them. Sanshi hence instantly became very popular with the Golden Core cultivators. I think he'll refuse. Ziyu glanced at Lan Yu, the blue-robed man who asked. Ensure he doesn't like men. Feelings can be nurtured. Moreover, it's only cultivation. There's no need for feelings between men to rise. Lan Yu smiled meaningfully and said seriously, Palace Master, in the person with the highest chance of forming the nascent soul other than Senior Master Ziyu, I hope that you will allow me to borrow him for cultivation. Ziyu, let them come into contact with this person themselves. You should focus on consolidating your realm. Talus Master Yao Yu smiled. If the news of your breakthrough spreads, some people will definitely not be able to sit still. It's more valuable for you to think about how to deal with the trouble for the time being. Ziyu nodded helplessly. She too held grudges against others. Even if she did not have any enemies, the sudden addition of a nascent soul in the Yao Moon Palace would definitely make the other factions uneasy. The best way for them to eliminate her will be when her foundation is still not stable enough. Little brother, you must be tired. An old woman's voice sounded in Song Shi's ears. Before he could turn around, an old and wrinkled hand grabbed his arm. A face full of wrinkles and age spots appeared in front of him. She was wearing a dark green robe, and her back was extremely hunched. She looked very old. Song Shi was shocked. "Granny, who are you?" "It's not nice to call me Granny. Call me Senior Master Liu Yu." Liu Yu sized up Song Shi with a smile. "Young man, your body is really strong." "Not bad. Not bad at all." Feeling like he was being sized up like a piece of meat, Song Shi felt that something was wrong. He took a step back and realized that the old woman's claws were like iron hoops, grabbing onto him and not letting go. "Senior Master, we're not familiar with each other. Why are you grabbing me?" Song Shi frowned. Why did he feel that this old woman had ill intentions towards him? Little brother helped junior sister Ziyu break through. I'm her closest senior sister. She's busy now, so she asked me to help you with your recovery. Without waiting for Song Shi's agreement, Liu Yu grabbed him and teleported. They crossed thousands of feet and arrived at a dark green palace. There was a lot of grass and trees patterns engraved on it. "This is my residence, Green Moon Hall. Alwo, Baizhen, quickly prepare tea and spirit fruits to entertain this young man who has done the sect a great favor." After walking into the Green Moon Hall, two beauties came out to welcome them. One of them was in a purple-black short skirt and was in her 20s. She was sexy and lively, and her long legs were especially long. One of them was wearing a snow-white gauze dress and had the appearance of a young girl. Her skin and bones were as white as snow, and she was a pretty girl from a small family. She was friendly and pleasant. "Greetings, Master and Senior Brother." A pair of phoenix eyes and a pair of almond-shaped eyes sized up Song Shi curiously. They were also secretly observing Song Shi and knew that he was the mysterious man who had helped Ziyu break through. Now that he was invited by their master, she probably had the same goal. "Put down your things and go out. I want to restore Elder Song's energy." Liu Yu dismissed her disciples and pulled Song Shi to the main sea. She took the initiative to pass the spirit tea to Song Shi. "Little brother, drink it quickly. This is the snow lotus tea from the Heavenly Moon Mountain Range. It contains abundant spiritual qi and is very nourishing." Song Shi was flattered. He knew about this thing. It only blooms once every 100 years and only grows into a lotus every 1,000 years. It was a spiritual herb specially provided to Golden Core Realm cultivators and above only. Was he allowed to drink it just like that? He glanced at the two longan-like spiritual fruits on the plate. These things were actually emitting a scorching will-o-wisp. It was obvious that they were not ordinary. Ziyu was so close to this old woman that she was willing to share her treasures with him. "You're too kind." Song Shi took a bite and immediately perked up. His face turned much redder. "How is it? Not bad, right?" Liu Yu said with a smile. "Eat this scarlet blood dragon fruit quickly. It can consolidate your essence and strengthen your yang essence." He took another sip of tea and said, "Senior Master, tell me what's the matter. Your treatment towards me is too good." Liu Yu chuckled and said, You're smart. I'm entertaining you on behalf of junior sister Ziyu because I want to ask you to help me cultivate and break through the natural chasm of the nascent formation realm." Song Shi almost choked on his tea. Looking at Liu Yu, who was old enough to be his grandmother, his face twitched. "We're not compatible, right? It's fine to try. I'm willing to pay a price that will satisfy you," Liu Yu said sincerely. This isn't about the matter of remuneration or not.